everyone, I'm excited to welcome you to this channel, a place for you to level up your financial intelligence. I'll be sharing content about personal finance, investing, and wealth building every Sunday. Now, if this interests you, then be sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell notification to stay tuned. Today, I want to talk about a funny yet major misconception that many people have. If your intention is to marry rich, let me tell you why you will never be able to make more money, even if you marry rich. So stay until the end. Everyone assumes that, life will be good once you acquire like a certain net worth or gain a set amount of capital. Now this varies depending on the person. To some, 6-figure net worth is, to others it's 7 or 10 figures, that's considered, whatever it is. Now with that net worth, yes, you are rich in terms of the freedom and control that you have in life. When you're marrying someone with the intention of their money, you are in fact doing yourself a disservice. And let me tell you why. Now, if you can't turn 1,000 into 10K or 10K into 20K and then beyond, what makes you think you can handle a 7 or 8-figure net worth, or whatever net worth that you consider is rich in your mind? Now, I'm saying this because don't you find it interesting that people who win the lottery still end up broke? I'm not talking about like a $5 win. I'm referring to people who win like the big jackpot. People who are jackpot winners. Why is it that some people win the lottery and they still end up going broke? Why? Now there are some people who manage to build their wealth and make more from their win, but there are also those who end up going back to square one, and that's the financial position that they started with. What I want to focus on is, why is it that even though some people who win big end up going broke again? Leads me to another misconception that many people have that's actually keeping them broke. And I have a feeling that a lot of you guys are not realizing that you're doing this. Also, I want to talk about the one thing that you can do to truly make more money in the long term. So stay until the end. Still recall this. One of my roommates who came back from her Toronto trip said something along the lines of, I realized that people in Toronto wear a lot of designer and luxury clothing. And my initial thought at first was, why is that the first thing that she noticed? Until I learned this. Now I'm going to share with you a real life example to give you some context. I'm originally from Toronto, Canada, but then I moved to Vancouver, which is like the other side of the country, to basically get my university degree. But that's not the point. The point is, Toronto being the city that dominates the fashion industry of Canada, there are people who keep up with the latest fashion trends to the T. So you may find people who have on really stylish outfits that look like they just came off the runway. Who keep up with the latest fashion trends, whether it's by buying the latest new release or by buying luxury designer items. Now, as someone who lives and is part of this fashion center community, it sometimes can pose as a challenge to not keep up with the latest trends, or to not buy the latest new release, or to not maybe buy the latest new designer bag or designer shoe. Because did you know that psychologically this is a normal effect? And let me tell you why. Now obviously you buy something because you like it, right? But have you ever thought of this? Oh my god, those shoes look cute on this random person that I saw down the street. And once you start to notice those shoes, those cute shoes, all of a sudden you see it everywhere and then on everyone. Now this is an unconscious increase in awareness. And because your awareness of those shoes has increased, you are more likely to want those shoes, which eventually leads you to buying it. And this effect is what's called the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. Because when you start to see something appear again and again, it can lead to the assumption that it's more desirable, more popular, and more on trend. Then you start to think, those shoes are on trend because everyone has it. And by thinking this way, you are more likely to get them. The exact same thing applies to designer products and luxury goods. Which is what led to my roommate say to me, people in Toronto wear a lot of designers. That's because that's the only thing that she notices. For example, she might have noticed a designer bag on a random person down the street, and because her awareness has increased for that designer bag, she then starts to see it everywhere and then on everyone. If you're someone who's constantly keeping up with the Jonases, that's what's keeping you broke. But you have to keep constantly reminding yourself, not fall into this trap, because by doing this, when you constantly spend your money on keeping up with the latest trends, that is what's keeping you broke. Now, if you want to build wealth over time, you have to start by shifting your mindset around money and around how to manage your money. So let's get familiar with these two accounting terms, just two: assets and liabilities. In the world of accounting, one of the many responsibilities of accountants is that they have to prepare balance sheets. And what balance sheets are basically financial statements or reports that is used for understanding a company's financial position. Balance sheets usually consist of three main categories: assets, liabilities, and equity. For those who are not familiar with these terms, in simpler explanation, assets is something that brings in money to you. Liabilities is something that does not generate any money for you and is in fact taking money away from you. And equity is just basically how much you have left over. Now, why are these terms important for you to know? Because you can apply them to your own daily life. Think of yourself as a business. Is what you're spending money on bringing in more money for you, or is it taking away money from you? The next time you see those cute shoes again, ask yourself and think, by buying these shoes, is it going to bring me in more money over time, or is it going to take away money from me? Because what will really help with your financial growth over time, the long term, is by understanding the difference between the two. Because think about it, why is it that some people who are big jackpot winners end up going broke? And why do some succeed and grow even more wealth over time? Even if you end up marrying rich, but you don't know how to manage your own money in the first place, you might find yourself in the same position again, or in a similar situation as those big lottery winners. There's a reason why some people only have $1,000 in the bank, and there's a reason why there's some who have $0 in the bank. It's because they don't know how to spend their money wisely. Now, I don't blame them, because no one ever taught us this. We've never learned this. And people usually want to be more wealthy because, I don't know, they want the status or they want a certain lifestyle that they think money can buy for them. But in order to achieve that, it's more important to first learn and figure out how to start and manage your money from the bottom. First, learning how to manage and turn your first $1,000 into 10K, and then 10K into 20K, and then 20K into beyond. Because with each income level, it requires a different level of mindset. Now, people who you think are rich, they have a level of wealth for a reason. It's because they know how to spend and use their money wisely. So if you want to marry rich, you yourself have to attract that person by becoming rich yourself. Start with learning how you can work from the bottom. Start with learning how you can manage and turn $1,000 into 10K, and then 10K into 20K, and then, 6 figures and beyond. If you haven't already, be sure to check out last week's video on money traps to avoid. Also, be sure to check out bonus that I have included down below the description box, where you can get free cash bonus using my referral link to open up your investment account with QuesTrade or QuesTrade. If you want to receive more content from me, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell to be notified for when I post next. And if you've liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next. Bye!